Have you thumbed up the video today? Have you thumbed up the video today? Have you thumbed up the video? Thumbed up the video today? That is funny as hell to me, man. Have you thumbed up the video? Let me pin my phone number and then I can get to moving. Have y'all thumbed up the video? Make sure you like the video as you come up in this joint. I left my pic in the house. Forehead looking smooth, cap. Boy, you almost made me say something crazy to your gay ass. Only gay niggas worried about a forehead. I know my forehead big, and let me tell you something. Every last one of my wives love it too. They love all my foreheads, all of them. Since you want to talk, love all of them. You wish you could be me. Now let me stop. Let me stop. Cap, you gonna admit you lost to the pastor? I ain't gotta. Let me tell you something, man. The beautiful thing about that debate with Pastor Bennett, you should call in if you think I lost. Greg Moore, why don't you call in? Because I did this debate on a neutral platform, which is Sinetta's platform, and they say I won. So I knew I won. I did this. You know what's interesting? This is the first debate that I did on Sinetta's platform where I did not look at the chat one time while the debate was going. Not one time did I look at the chat. I didn't look at the chat. I didn't look at nothing. So Greg Moore, if you believe, and this goes for anybody, man, if you believe I lost the debate, by all means, call in and tell it. Listen, everybody, it's called Up in the Air Mondays. Up in the Air Mondays means everything is up. So whatever it is you want to talk about, you can call in and talk about, man. That's what the show was designed for, man. It is called Chronicles. You can call in and become a Vic if you want to be a Vic. Nigga said Pastor Bennett. What, man? You crazy like that glue? Pastor Bennett won where? So I put up this video on my channel. Your last round, you zipped them up, cat. Okay, so since y'all asking, of course I respond to what you're saying. The last round is when I purposely saved the Gentile portion and the judgments portion. I purposely saved that to the end. And two things. I purposely saved that to the end, and then my opening, I didn't respond to much that he said. I think I responded to some things that he said. I didn't respond to much that he said, and it kind of, I think, gave him a false sense of confidence, because I think what ended up happening when he thinks that I'm not responding to what he's saying, I think it made him feel good that he had a victory, I guess. Good day, new here from Team Fatty. Shout out to Red Lipstick. I'm glad you're here. Shout out to the Fatty side too. Team Fatty, what she's referring to, I believe it's a she. I don't know no man. They would call themselves Red Lipstick. Red Lipstick sounds like a good oil name. So Red Lipstick, can I use that name for one of my oils? So I sell a business. For those that don't know, to my moderators, I do have a 25% off sale off of all my body butters, body oils. And so I would like to use that Red Lipstick. That sounds like a good oil name. I might use that red. If I do, Red Lipstick, I don't know if you're on IG or Facebook, but if I use the Red Lipstick name, I'll send you a body butter for free. All you got to do is just follow me on Instagram and give me your information, and I will gladly send you one for free. Not as I said, call one honey pack. What is the honey pack? What's a honey pack? Y'all might have to put me on game to what's a honey pack. Can y'all tell me what a honey pack is? Somebody tell me what a honey pack is. I don't know what honey pack is, but you got to tell me what honey pack is. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
It's spread from Florida.
Hey, do you know what a honey pack is?
Yes.
What's a honey? Because somebody in the chat said I need to call an oil a honey pack, but I don't know what a honey pack is. So can you help me out? What's a honey pack?
It's just like it's a supplement that keeps your rod at attention.
Oh, that's for the brothers with the ED.
You're right, right. Like,
Hey, Lord be with y'all. I am not going to name my oils honey pack. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's almost like shameful. You don't want, I mean, and you know what's crazy? Not the sidebar. You know what's crazy? I remember my brother, I told y'all, for those that follow me, my brother used to love white women, right? And so my brother messing with this white woman. The white woman came, he come to my house. The white woman gave him a whole bunch of Viagras, right? Now he bring it to me. I sat with them Viagras for about a month. Cause I'm saying to myself, first of all, I'm like, how he said Cap, I'm about to say Cap. He said, Ty, see if you can sell it. I said, who sell it to who? I'm like, who's buying Viagra? And I'll never forget, man. So I'm with my barber. So I used to hang out at this barber shop, right? Hey, I'm good to go. How you doing? And so as I'm hanging out at the barber shop, you said, why did you take it? He gave it to me. That's why I took him. So, thank you. So I'm hanging out at the barber shop, and my barber, he cutting my hair. So the shop is where I used to hang out and do everything, all my shit or whatever. So I'm talking to my barber. I said, hey man, I said, Steph, he gave me this damn Viagra, so I don't know what to do. And he said, what? Just like that. That nigga said, what? You got them right now, Ty? I said, yeah, they in the house. He said, go get them. Listen, I sold all of them in one shot. And I start finding out little young niggas. Now, I'm in my 30s. Like, I'm like 31. Maybe I'm like 30 or 30, between 30 and 31 years old. I only know that age time frame because I came into the truth at 33. So I'm like 30, 31, and young niggas is buying Viagra. And I'm saying to myself, like, I didn't need to, at 31, I didn't need, I'm tripping on young niggas needing Viagra. So I hope for you brothers that need the honey pack, I hope it ain't no young niggas that need the honey pack.
Good night.
Good night. All that from, not the side telling me the name of all honey pack. But what's your question, brother? I appreciate your patience. What's your question?
Con, I got a question. It's a comment question, Flash. I wonder what you think about the dude that hit the police that killed his son. I don't know if you heard about it.
Yeah, I heard about it. The first thing that came to mind, like, oppression, make a wise man mad. Like losing your son. I thought about when Samuel Jackson lost in that movie, A Time to Kill. In A Time to Kill, Samuel Jackson, he waited in the courtroom. And for those that don't know, a couple of days ago, this young brother got unalived by police officers. He was from what the story says thus far, he was in a stolen car. They was running from the police. He got shot. The cop says he was in fear of his life. And then the father of the son that got unalived ran over a cop. Not the cop that did it, but he ran over a cop in anger. And I saw that video when he was walking proud at what he did. And you asking me how do I feel about it, right? Right. I don't know the pain of losing a son. I don't know the pain of losing a daughter. I for sure don't know the pain of losing them in that fashion. But I do know what oppression feels like. I do know what constantly hearing about black men and women getting unalived by white men, always on the run. And then on the flip side of that, we can always read of those stories where white men and women act irate and they get patience, they get calm, they get tased, they get all those things done to them, but for some reason we're always treated that way. So in a situation like that, I feel for the father. I feel for his pain, and I can understand that type of oppression. But they probably gonna throw the whole prison at him. They're gonna probably throw the whole book at that brother. So I
Oh yeah, they're
understand.
not coming.
Yeah, so I understand exactly how he feels. And this is what oppression is gonna do. This is what America is doing and causing to black people. Black people are gonna get to a point where they're just not gonna accept anything that the white man is shoving down our throats. For sure, taking our kids. Because if all the young man is doing is running, was there a weapon involved?
So what I heard was, if you look at the cam, the police cam, he fell behind a dumpster when he was trying to run from the police. And when he fell, they heard, quote unquote, a metallic device. You know what I'm saying? They heard the metal. So they right.
So he falling behind.
Oh,
Was the dumpster metal?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if people know dumpsters are metal. So if dumpsters are metal, he hit the dumpster. He could have hit anything. So they didn't see a weapon. They thought they heard a weapon. Am I hearing you correctly?
That's right. They heard something metallic.
Yeah. And so so for black people, this is the usual story. And this is so what the father did was not righteous, right? It was not righteous. But what oppression and what we've been through, I can understand any black person can understand why he did, whether you agree with it or not, whether you call it righteous, unrighteous. I think black people are tired of getting shot by cops when cops are supposed to be doing their job. If the brother was running away, he's supposed to get arrested. Somebody in the chat saying they seen a weapon. Hey, Charlie Kennedy, if anybody has the link to the story, if you could send me the link to the story, we can see. And Judah Time asking what did the father do. So what the father did was drive his vehicle and ran over a cop. The cop that he ran over was not a part of the crime. He was not one of the arresting officers. He was not there. So he just took vengeance on a cop. Yeah, so he took vengeance on a cop. Like, what he did to that cop is what white men do to black men randomly. What do I mean? I remember when Chris Dorner was a police officer in California, and he had shot cops. They could not find Chris Dorner. All they knew about Chris Dorner was that he was bald-headed and black. And they was terrorizing black men so bad that black men in California was writing on the back of their cars, "I'm not Chris Dorner." That's what they was writing on the back of their cars. You know what I mean? So like black men have been terrorized by white men and cops specifically for so long. That's what that father felt. That's the pain that father felt. That's the anger that father felt. Because that father's not going to get his son back. So if you're asking me how I feel I can understand his pain. I'm not saying it's justified, because he took vengeance in his hands and he took vengeance against the wrong person. That's against our law. You know, in God's law, you can't pay for somebody else's sins. So what he did was wrong. But I understand that type of anger. You know what I'm saying? So I hope I answered your question.
No, you did. The first thing I could think about was that must have been his best friend.
Had to be. Yeah.
It's like he gave his life up at that point.
It's his son. Mm-hmm.
He had nothing else to live for. That's wild.
Yeah. I mean, your son, all my kids, I don't know what I would do if somebody unalived my kids. Like, it's your kid. When you think about children, if you're a parents, like my last son born, right? His name is Tazaryach, right? His name means rising, right? I named him. A part of the reason he got his name is because I knew as my sons are being born, my end is coming. That's what children are supposed to be. Children are your ending. Their beginning is your ending, meaning you're not supposed to outlive your kids. That's not the norm. It's not, we don't we don't think when we having children that I'm going to live older than my kids. You think, okay, I have a
Right.
legacy. I have somebody that's going to live after me. So now when you put all of that stock into your child, you groom your child, you raise your child, and then that child is taken away from you, that's a hard pill to swallow. You know what I mean? And when it's taken to, now if it's, let's say if it's taken from a health reason, you know, at least health wise, you ain't got nobody to be angry at. I mean, it's a health reason. I mean, you can't be angry at nobody. But when it's taken by somebody, that brings about a certain level of anger. You understand? So I understand. Yeah, so I understand exactly how that brother feels from that position.
Right. I got one question for you. Now I'm gonna hold you up too long.
Okay.
Uh, what is the spiritual meaning of speaking in tongues? What is speaking in tongues? Is that something that
Speaking in tongue is like if I said Mashalamka, which means how's your peace, meaning how are you doing? That's what speaking in tongue is.
speaking original Hebrew?
No. I just spoke a different language. If somebody came up here and said como está usted, or buenas noches, it's still a morning. Buenos dias, which means good morning.
I guess my question is, in the word, they all were speaking in a language that they didn't originally speak in.
Well, that's the Holy Spirit. No, but they all understood the language. That's the difference. It wasn't like with the church teachers that it's a language that only you know, you and God.
Nah.
The Bible don't teach that. The Bible teach, first of all, if I would, like you see how as soon as I said Mashalom Ka, I gave it interpretation. Because if you can't interpret what you're speaking, then you're edifying yourself. You're not edifying the people. That's what the Bible says. So even the gifts of tongues is being able to speak in different languages. That's what that's talking about. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Caller, hold on. So in Acts the 2nd chapter, that was all of them speaking in the language, and they all understood the language. But when they in that Christian church speaking that Hasalamalama, that's not speaking in tongue. That's some shit they made up. Because at some point, somebody should have broke that shit down by now, what that shit means.
Right.
What does the Hashalama mean? Hashalama should mean something. Hasalama, somebody should be able to break that shit down. So,
I'm gonna let you go, but I just want to make this one comment. Mm-hmm. It dawned on me the other day. I was thinking, I think you said it, or somebody said it. Mm-hmm. It was like, white people the devil with how red they get because they blood show through their skin. And I never thought about it like that. They're not white, they red. Mm-hmm. And even when you take a picture of them with a flash on, what you see? What color their eyes are?
Yeah, that's why when it said Esau came out red and hairy all over like a garment.
All right, Cal. We'll let you go, bro.
All right, no sweat. All right. Shalom. Next caller. I think it's 313. That's Mark.
Okay.
Yeah, what's going on, brother? You got a question or comment?
Yeah, I got a question.
What up?
I had watched your debate the other day with the pastor.
Right.
Another day.
Right.
I just watching a little late to it. And I was watching Sarnetta live yesterday, and I guess it was the same dude that you debated, and he was talking about somebody else who was like kind of like defending their position of like why they thought you won.
Right.
But he was breaking it down like Timothy, when you go to his dad, they say his dad is Greek.
Go to Acts 16.
But when you go to that word Greek.
Go to Acts 16. Huh? Go to Acts 16:1. And let me help everybody, and I'm gonna free everybody's mind. We think when we read the Bible. Hold on 1 second. Caller, hold on. Always remember this. You there, right, brother? You got the Acts 16:1, right? I don't want you to read it yet.
Well, I got you.
All right, appreciate it. So now here's what I want everybody to understand when they read in the Bible. You got to remember this, and this goes for everything. The Bible is not indoctrinated. Indoctrination comes later. Example, when we talk about Joseph being the father or not being the father, that's because of indoctrination. You don't read that argument in the Bible. You know how you know it's indoctrination? Because when it says Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph, to the writers, that's who Jesus is. He's the son of Joseph. To indoctrination, hey, that Shaq, hold on, sidebar. That Shaq, man, I keep messaging you to do a show together, man. We got to do a show together, man. Shout out to that Shaq, gave me a super chat donation, man. He does a lot of good commentary. We got to do a show, man. Got to do a show. You got to hit me up so we can do a show together, man. Appreciate the super chat donation, man. So the indoctrination comes later when someone tells you, yeah, it says Joseph is the father, but they just didn't know. That's where indoctrination comes. So when we reading about someone being called a Greek, someone being called a Jewess that we're going to read here, has nothing to do with being white. I want you to read it. Go ahead and read it.
16:1.
Acts 16:1. That's where it talks about. That's where it talks about Timothy, right?
Then he came to.
Hold on, wait. Pause 1 second. Caller, hold on. And that Acts 16:1, that's talking about Titus, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And behold, a certain disciple was there named Timothy, the son of a certain woman, which was a Jewish and believed, but his father was a Greek.
Keep going.
Which was well reported of by the brothers.
Right. Did it talk about the mother yet? His father was a Greek. I'm sorry. Read it from the beginning.
It says the son of a certain woman, which was a Jewess. And believed.
And what? And believed. A Jewess and believed. And believed, right?
Believed, but his father was Greek.
Now, what is that? Greek. Okay, so now, if you don't have indoctrination, what is that verse saying? Without indoctrination, without wondering that if you're not thinking about if this is a white man or an Israelite, what is that verse saying?
It's basically saying that his mom a Jewess, and his dad is a father.
It's saying more than that. It's saying something more than that. It ain't just
teach me, Cap. For real.
Okay. No problem. Read it one more time.
Then came he to Derby, and Lystra. I don't know how to put it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good.
And behold, a certain disciple was there named Timothy, the son of a certain woman, which was a Jewess, and believed.
But
his father was.
Stop right there. So what is it saying about his mother?
Saying like she believed. So basically like she believed in Torah.
So it wasn't about her, not just Torah, also Christ. Like when it's saying a Jewess that believed, she's one that followed the law, followed the Most High, right?
Yeah.
Now read after that. After believe.
But his father was a Greek.
His father was a what?
Was a Greek.
So what does that say about him after what they just said about the mother?
His father didn't believe.
His father followed the Greek custom. That's the point of that verse. The point of that verse, the writers of the New Testament don't care, or Luke is not, Luke is not writing this to say he had an Israelite mother and a white father. Luke is pointing out how the mother believed, but the father did not. That's what the conversation is about. It's not about whether they're Israelites or not. They are Israelites because Israelites were Hellenized or Greeks as well. Greek is like America. In America, are there Chinese Americans? Irish Americans, African Americans, Black Americans, Arab Americans. There's many different types of Americans, right?
Right. So you said it was like the same thing back then. Like a lot
Exactly.
of nations calling themselves
You
Greek.
had Egyptian Americans. They thought Paul was Egyptian. When you go to Acts 21 and 37, when you go to Acts 21, verse 37, it says, this is Acts 21 and 37. And as Paul was being led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, May I speak unto thee? Who said, Canst thou speak Greek? Art not thou that Egyptian which before these days made an uproar? Now they thought Paul was an Egyptian. Verse 39. But Paul said, I am a man which am a Jew of Tarsa in Sicilia, in a city of no mean city. I beseech thee, suffer me to speak to the people. So Paul was a Roman, or Paul could be called a Greek as well. Egyptians was Greeks, Africans was Greeks. Hellenization that the Greeks and Romans did made anybody that lived in there could be called a Greek. That's all that's saying. But when indoctrination comes, now Timothy has to be a white man. That's scholars coming later trying to make Timothy be a white man. The subject of Acts 16 and 1 is not about the ethnicity of Timothy.
For sure. That makes sense.
And now, when you read verse 3, when it says, him would Paul have to go forth with him and took and circumcised him because of the Jews which were in those quarters, for they all knew that his father was a Greek. Are you listening, brother?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
Okay.
That ain't me talking.
Okay, hey, brother. Okay. The people in the background, if y'all could just mute your phone, I appreciate it. So the reason why they emphasizing the father's a Greek, meaning following the Greek customs, that means that he wasn't circumcised because he wasn't following the Israelite custom. Has nothing to do with his ethnicity. So although his mother was a Jewish, when Timothy was born, his father didn't get him circumcised.
Right.
That's all.
Okay, for sure. All right, shit. That's all I really needed, Cal. I appreciate it. Just need that breakdown, man.
Hey, no sweat, brother. All right. Next person, no problem. Next person in the queue is what you hung up? 813-331.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, brother? You got a question or comment?
Nothing much, man. I believe we've spoke before, but I was just scrolling. I seen you come up on my.
Hold on one second.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit more, man.
Hold on 1 second. 813 to 775-335 and 323-491. Can you mute your phones? I can hear your background.
I'm muted right now, Cal.
Which number is you, brother?
I'm 7223. I was already muted.
Okay, no sweat. Perfect. So if I hear voices, I know who it is. Then it's that guy. Hey, well, so go ahead, brother. You said you wanted to talk about what?
Yeah, I just want to talk about Jesus being Lord and Savior of the Gentiles as well. Not limited only to the Jews.
Where does it say he's Lord and Savior to the Gentiles?
Well, a verse that I hear a lot is when Jesus was talking to the Canaanite woman who wanted her daughter healed and delivered from the demon, was persecuting her. And he said, I was not sent, but only to the lost sheep of Israel. Okay? Mm-hmm. And what happened, I think the context is very important in that. A lot of times throughout the whole Bible, we see depictions of Christ, right? Abraham offering Isaac on the altar. Obviously, he didn't carry it through, but that's just one example. Right? We see. So the context of this, man, is she didn't answer her. And when he did, he said, is it not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs?
Right.
That's obviously talking about the Jews, right?
He called her a bitch. He called her a bitch. No.
Basically, he said, hey.
Yeah, he wasn't talking to the Jews. He wasn't saying for the Jews, though. He said for Israel. There's a difference between saying Jews and Israel.
Jews encompass Israel.
In some cases.
Israel is the nation.
One second. In some cases, because there's 12 tribes of Israel. You have Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Naphtali. So sometimes you can use Jews. In this context, he said Israel. He didn't say Jews. Hold on 1 second. Caller, hold on. If you could just make sure your phone is muted, all right? And then I'll bring you on.
Got you.
No sweat. So now he said it's not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to the dogs, right?
Yeah. That's
And
speaking
then
of the Jews and the
she's
Gentiles.
speaking of the no. You keep saying Jews
Yeah.
when he said, I'm not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Do you know what that means, brother?
Yeah, the Jews were always promised the Messiah.
You see how you keep saying Jews? He said, I am not
That's
sent.
God's chosen people.
Israel is God's chosen people. Not just Jews,
And
Israel.
the Jews encompass Israel.
And did Christ say, I'm not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Jews or the lost sheep of the house of Israel? Which one?
You have Messianic Jews, right?
Which one did he say? That I'm not sent to the lost sheep of the house of Jews or lost sheep of the house of Israel?
Hold up. I'm on NIV. I do want to get to NKJV. So hold up. I'll tell you
If
right
you
now. I
could
got it
just
pulled
do,
up.
oh, no problem. I have it. You want to do, if you're going to, it's better. I use the
I was sent only.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
I only
Nah,
read,
go ahead, bro. It's your show.
No, it ain't about my show. Because the caller before, he read the scriptures, if you was listening.
Yeah.
So
Nah, it's just out of respect, man. You're older than me, bro. You got it, man.
Age ain't got nothing to do with it. But I'm just telling you, I read the KJV, not an NKJV. So Matthews 15:24 says, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So do you know what that means?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
On Jesus's earthly ministry, he came as the Messiah of the Jews, of Israel. He did not, the original intention, right? It wasn't for the Gentiles. But
so
because of Israel, the Jews.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
Where the lost sheep? Where the lost sheep of Israel at?
The lost sheep of Israel, he was referring to the Jews. That's why he says of Israel, right? The Jews were of Israel.
Okay, so no, you're incorrect. The lost sheep of the house of Israel were Israelites that were scattered outside of Israel as well. Scattered into the four corners of the earth. That's why you see James, when he writes his letter, James 1:1 says, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. His letter doesn't say to everybody. So when it says lost sheep of the house of Israel, he's talking about the house of Israel, not those that are there, but the ones that are scattered abroad as well. You with me?
Understand. I think the context that she's a Canaanite woman is important, though. Canaanite is Gentile.
Well, we're gonna get to that part. So then it says,
okay.
So then in verse 26 it says, but he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread, cast it to the dogs. And in verse 27 she says, and she said, truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from the master's table. Right?
Uh-oh.
Okay. Okay. What's the
Hold up.
Yeah, what's the uh-oh?
She cooked, bro.
What did she
cooked, bro.
What did she cook?
She cooked, bro.
What did she?
I mean, after that, the verse after that, then Jesus said to her, woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted. And her daughter.
Well, that's why I like that. This is why I told you I read the KJV, just so we can stay, because that is what you're reading sounds like a thought for thought translation. And so when she says that, it says, then she came, I'm sorry. He said,
bro, I'm still in the NIV.
I don't read NIV, brother.
So, yeah, neither do I, man.
Okay, I read the KJV. So Matthew 15:28. Then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith, be unto it even as thou wilt. And her daughter was healed. Now I'm just going to read Mark 7 so you can understand what the faith was. This is Mark 7:29. It says, and he said unto her, for this saying, go thy way. So what saying did she say that got her the blessing?
What verse is that?
So go to Mark 7. So these two accounts are in Matthew's 15, and Mark's account is in Mark 7. So go to Mark 7:29.
Mark 7:29. KJV.
Yep. And so
I got you.
All right. So Mark 7:29 says, and he said unto her, for this saying, go thy way, the devil is gone out of thy daughter. You with me, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now the faith was not that that she gets salvation. The faith was that she knew that she can only get a crumb. The meal, but who does the meal belong to?
Where the actual depiction is that the crumbs fell off of the table. So the
That's
bread is for the Jews.
That's what I said.
The substance is for the Jews.
But
the
Israel,
crumbs that fall left over,
right? The crumb,
for
right?
the Gentiles.
So hold on. The crumbs that fall over is whatever we're not
for the
eating.
dogs, man.
It's for whatever we're not eating, right?
If you are a Jew, which I assume that you are,
if the crumbs is for,
I would be the dog.
Brother, stay focused, brother. What's your ethnicity?
I'm white.
Lord have mercy.
So I mean that's my race. My ethnicity is that I'm a mix of a bunch of different European.
Gotcha. So
you know what I mean?
Gotcha. No problem. So when the crumb that she got does not include salvation, it does not.
Yeah.
Salvation is only for Israel. For you being a European, your future is slavery. Your future is punishment. Your future is paying for what your fathers did to the children of Israel. That's your future. I can read it for you. You want me to read it for you? This is Isaiah. This is the book.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, this is Isaiah. Let me see which one I want to read.
It was just a typology. So
this is
Isaiah. This was a typology of what he was going to do. This is not the all in all.
No, it's not like anybody can get a blessing. Ishmael got a blessing, but then there's a judgment. So I just want to read to you. This is Isaiah 60:10. It says, "And the sons of the strangers." It says, "The sons of the strangers shall build."
Brother.
I'm not your brother. "And the sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I have had mercy on thee. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall be utterly wasted." That's your future.
Yeah.
Your future is to pay for what you did.
Verse, please.
I'm going to hang up on you in a second because I just read the verses.
Yeah, but I want to read along with you.
I said it was Isaiah 60:10.
Okay. Isaiah 60
Mm-hmm.
and 10. I should have just said I was black, right?
Nah. We would have found
that was a joke, bro. My fault. It was a joke, bro. My fault. All right, so Isaiah 60:10.
Boy, y'all be saying y'all be saying I got great patience. My patience is running thin. Just letting y'all know.
I don't feel like I'm trying your patience, but if I am, I apologize.
Ask my chat. Are you watching live? Go on my chat, and if you see a bunch of 10s in my chat, just let me know. Just say, if you go look at my chat, just tell me if you see some 10s.
I would have to go into your chat because I'm on the phone right now.
Okay, no problem.
But I can if you want me to.
Nope.
I'm on a laptop right now as well. Mm-hmm. So you want me to go into the chat real quick?
You don't have to.
I mean, another thing, because I mean, there's two great sources in the Bible that teach that now that there is neither Jew nor Gentile, for all are one in Christ Jesus.
What does Gentile? So now I'm gonna educate you. What does Gentile mean?
Gentile means non-Jewish. Its root word in Hebrew is goy.
Goy. In Hebrew is goy.
And it means the nations. And the nations, non-Jewish.
No. So let's just start. In Hebrew, it's goy. In Greek, it's ethnos, and the word just means nation. So is Israel
non-Jewish specific nation?
No. Is Israel a nation? Meaning this. Let me make it further. In the New Testament, when it says you are, hold on 1 second. Caller, hold on. I'm just waiting for this to merge. It wouldn't merge. Hold on, I'm gonna try it one more time. Hold on, let me see. If it don't merge, I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm gonna have to call you back, dude. I fucking hung up on everybody by mistake. I knew it was gonna do that. Let me see if I can get the callers back. Hold on. Let me call you back. Hey, hold
Hello?
on. Yeah, hold on a second. The call dropped. Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on a second.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. So, here we go. I think, no, I'm not taking the calls. Anthony with the gap teeth, I'm not taking your calls no more.
Man.
So now, when it comes to the word,
Man.
ethnos that we was just talking about, right? As far as Gentiles go,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The most important part that, and what a lot of Christians that try to indoctrinate and lie to us don't understand, is that when you read verses like Exodus 9, I'm just going to grab it. I'm just pulling it up now. And in Exodus 19:6, and you shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. You know that word is goy, right?
I don't, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. In Exodus 19:6, when it's talking about Israel being a nation, they're called goy. In Psalms 33:12, when it says, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord's, that word is goy. In Genesis 35:11, when it talks about Jacob becoming a nation in the company of nations, that word is goy. So indoctrination will have you believe that Gentile is non-Israelites, but the Hebrew word and Greek word, the Hebrew word goy and the Greek word ethnos, means nation that can apply to an Israelite or a non-Israelite based on the
No, it can't.
context. Yes, it can. I just proved it. Okay,
No,
go in your KJV. Go to
that's a
X.
loophole.
There's not a loophole. The only loophole is a white man calling trying to get redeemed so he don't go into slavery like you are doing right now. The reason why you're looking for a loophole is because when Christ comes back, it puts you, your fathers and grandfathers and children in chains. You want a loophole to avoid that, and you cannot. Death is coming. What I would do if I was you, I would go bungee jump. I would go to Disney World. I would go to Hollywood. I would jump out of a flying airplane. I would enjoy the splendors of America because death is coming. You have a great day.
Can I ask you something, please?
No, not anymore. 775-335. You know, Cross the Line Radio. I'm Cross the Line Radio. 775-335. What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's Dion Farina.
What's going on?
I'm just trying to figure out two things. I guess the first would be like how. So for like the dietary laws, are we supposed to be eating kosher based like meats and or like, you know what I mean? Like how does that exactly work?
Kosher is something like that the Jewish man made up in the sense that they think every meat has to be made cut a different way. Meats do have to be cut a certain way as far as the sacrifices go, not as far as how you eat them. So if that burger is clean, you can eat that burger. You just ain't gonna put pork on the burger. You can get fish as long as it's not shellfish. So you just keep the dietary law like you would not normally, but you just keep the dietary law according to Leviticus, the 11th chapter.
So it doesn't have to be like from the Jewish man and all that extra shit.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah,
all right. And then I guess next question.
Before you do that, two questions I need to answer in the chat. Caleb was definitely an Israelite. He was of the chief tribe. He was the chief of the tribe of Judah. He was an Israelite. And then Alfred said, if everybody is a good person deep down inside in their hearts and minds, they still gonna die if they're the white man or go in slavery. Doesn't matter how good or bad you are. And you want the proof it doesn't matter how good or bad you are. The good and bad Israelites got on the slave ships. The good and bad Israelites had to flee Jerusalem. Jerusalem fell. It didn't matter if there was good or bad Israelites. We suffer as a nation. Okay, what's your second question, brother?
Yeah, my second question was, how do I find out what my Hebrew name would be?
Caller, hold on. You get in class, and that's how you get your Hebrew name. Just like
Okay.
so like when I didn't get my name till I got in class, and then coming to school for them 90 days, they said this is your name based on your spirit. So that's how you get your
I see
name.
what you said. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I appreciate you.
Hey, no sweat, brother. All right.
All right.
Next caller.
All right. Thank you.
No problem, brother. It says Devo. It might be Devon. I'm not sure.
Yep. That's me.
Go ahead. What's your question or
Can you hear
comment?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother. What's your question or comment?
I'm we did a breakdown some time ago on Christ's lineage with Luke and Matthew. You referenced a book called the Tychicus, and I just wanted to confirm: is it Tychicus, the early church days?
No, that's not the name of the book. I'll give it to you. 1 second.
Okay.
Sister, I had a question. How do you tell your family going to church on Sunday is dishonoring God? You just ask those people. You just ask them: is the seventh day the day that God said to rest, or is the first day that God say to rest? And when they say it's the seventh day, you tell them, well, if you're going on the first day, you're dishonoring God because God never said to do that on the first day. The book I said was the author of the book is Sextus Africanus. That's the author of the book. The other book is
Okay.
Sextus is Sextus. Africanus is Africanus like African with a US. And if you just search him and with the lineage of Christ, he does a breakdown on it. And then
All right. Awesome.
what I said was Eusebius, who wrote a book called
Right.
Eusebius wrote a book called Ecclesiastical History, and he backs up Sextus's position.
Okay. And how do you spell that? Eusebius?
Eusebius is Eusibius.
Excellent, excellent, man. Real quick, my father who put me into the truth. He just wanted to give you a big up, man. The other day he was listening to you smashing on that Ashkenazi Jew. You know, like we have to prove. We don't have to prove none to y'all, man.
We
The
don't.
evidence speaks for itself. We don't have to prove nothing. That's ridiculous. Because all you're gonna do is hit us with the secular semantics. That's all it's ever been.
Listen. The crazy part is, I couldn't tell him who I was, but he was adamant about telling me who I am. That's the arrogancy of the white man.
Exactly. Yep. All praise to
Most High Christ. Damn right.
You smashing them.
Thank you, brother. I definitely will. I appreciate it, brother. The water.
Yep.
All right.
All
right. I think there was Shalom. I think there was another question. I think I got my name from children. Really, I can't wait. I finally get a name for my people. Yep, Barn Dog. I'm gonna get his name. All right. Next call in the queue is, I don't know how to say the name, but you're the only person on my line.
So, can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on 1 second. Caller, hold on. What's your question or comment, brother?
What up, dog? Hey, I got a quick question named Oral Boros, and I know that you could probably give me clarity on this question. The question is, if the birthright and blessing was originally supposed to be Esau's and Jacob stole it, does that mean that God's chosen people was originally Esau?
No, because Esau was never supposed to originally get it. When you read, I'm going to read two passages. I'm going to read two scriptures, right? So when you go to Genesis 25 and 23, it says, Genesis 25 and 22, right? So this is after Rebecca. So Rebecca is pregnant. And so as Rebecca is pregnant, it says, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So what did the Lord tell her?
He told her that she would have 2 different peoples within her womb that would basically be warring with each other. But the reason why I asked that question is because
you're missing. You know, you ain't. Wait, hold on 1 second. Caller, hold on. You're forgetting an important piece of the puzzle to the question that you asked. What else did
What's that?
What else did the Lord tell her? I said, y'all gotta
What else did
mute.
the Lord tell her?
1 second. Y'all gotta mute me in the background. Thank you. The Lord told her that the elder will serve the younger.
Right. Now look,
Wait.
I know that part, but
Well, if you know
the reason
that
why I
part,
asked,
if you know that part, why are you asking me the question?
because the reason why I asked you the question is because wasn't it customary for the firstborn to receive the blessing?
I'm gonna ask you again. What did the Lord tell her?
Look, I know what the Lord told her, but I'm saying, wasn't it customary in their customs for the firstborn to receive the blessing?
What does that have to do with anything? What?
Because
Let me
it was
What does that
originally
have to
Esau's
do?
blessing.
Where does it say? Where can we read that it was originally Esau's blessing?
Because Isaac was supposed to bless the
Where can we
firstborn.
read? Remember, you just said that it was originally Esau's blessing. Hold on a second. Caller, hold on.
He was tricked out of
Wait,
his blood right. I mean, his birthright.
I didn't hear what you said. But if we're gonna
I said,
focus,
yes,
but
that's
you gotta
true.
be
That's
quiet.
because he was.
Be quiet. Be quiet.
Don't tell me to be quiet. We both grown. You know what I'm talking about?
I can tell you to be quiet. Or we could not have this conversation. But I need you to focus in. You're either gonna focus or you're not. Doesn't matter to me. You understand? Did he hang up? Lord allow he hung up. Oh, okay. I think he hung up. So just for education purposes, what he's trying to say is that the blessing was originally for Esau, and that's a lie. Because we can read, as they were struggling, the Lord told Rebekah that it was going to the second child. So when Rebekah saw the first child come out, she knew, based on what the Lord told her, that that child was not getting the blessing. When she saw the second child, she knew that the second child was getting the blessing. What we see after that is it playing out. And Jacob did not trick Esau. Jacob just said, you want this food? Sell me your birthright. He could have said no. He said yes. And so now we're seeing the prophecy being told to Rebekah, and then we're seeing the prophecy play out. The prophecy said, know of a surety that you're going to be brought into Egypt again with ships. We saw the prophecy told, and we saw the prophecy play out. How did that happen? Our disobedience. It's that simple. Next call in the queue is Gemma, says Santana.
Hey, what's going on, man? How's everything?
What's going on, right, brother? You got a question or comment?
Nah, just a comment, man. I just felt like I wanted to call just to let you know how I feel deep inside. That's it, man. I just want to say, I've been watching your videos for probably like maybe I'll say probably close to 6 months, and not to lie, I've been like almost watching absolutely all your videos, even the old videos, and work that you're doing, man. Like I like a lot of people is like, to me, it's mind blowing. You like the excellent work, the way you break it down. Like in the past, I used to have a lot of problems of viewing the way you saying, as far as how Christians, like, it's hard for me in the past. Like I'll say, it was very hard for me to see, like, not including everybody in the world, but just the way you break it down and everything, and the work that you're doing and how you showing it, the difference between you and all Christianity.
Okay, crazy.
And I don't mean like you specifically, but I mean ISUPK, right. But you're the one doing the teaching. Like, and like, listen, man, it's awesome. It's great. I wanted to say thank you personally over the phone. And honestly, like, you literally been changing my mind dramatically. You know, like in the past, I used to feel like,
always understand this. Always understand this. When you see anybody from ISUPK speak, we all speaking. So I get what you're saying. But like we're one body for real. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. No, and I love the work that you're doing. And I just wanted to call just to bring it out. I wanted to bring it out from my part, because honestly, it was so hard for me to not include the whole world, and it was so hard for me. You know, I'm a Simeon, but at the same time, like, I just can't see it. But then after more I watch, it's like more detail. All these debates is like, yo, there's Like you unbreakable. There's no, especially that
Yeah,
last
that's the
video you
Lord.
did.
Yeah, the Lord is
Yeah, man, no,
unbreakable.
it's
If
beautiful,
I
man.
could, yeah.
I just wanted to say it out there, let you know that your work is really working. You are getting into people, and you are catching a lot of lost tribes out there that doesn't even know. But just keep it up. That's all I really
Most
wanted
High
to say, and I
Christ.
wanted to really say
I
thank you, man.
appreciate it. Damn
Appreciate
right.
it.
And that's the Lord working. And the Lord working, I just pray I don't fail him. That's it. So that's the Most
I
High working.
appreciate.
So I
Same
appreciate
here.
it,
Same
brother.
here.
All right, no sweat the
Thank
water,
you, man.
brother.
Shalom.
Shalom out. Next person
All
in
right.
the queue is 313-205.
Hey, Cap, how you doing?
What's going on, brother? You got a question or comment?
Yeah, I got a question for you. In Samuel 29:3, when the Philistine
Wait,
commanders was,
hold on. Before you get into it, somebody asked me, isn't the inheritance to go to the firstborn? Yes. The inheritance goes to the firstborn. But you'll see, I'll give you two instances where it did not. First instance, of course, is Jacob and Esau. Second instance is Ephraim and Manasseh. What the Lord did with Jacob is the same thing of what the Lord did with Ephraim. When Joseph brought his two sons to Jacob to get the blessing, Joseph wanted Manasseh to get it because he was the oldest, but Jacob said it goes to Ephraim. So when the Lord intervenes, he can give the blessing to whoever he wants to get. So just to answer the question. But go ahead. Now, where was you at in with the Philistines?
1 Samuel 29:3, when the Philistines was going against the Israelites, and the commander noticed that David was with him, and he turned to the priest and asked the priest why is he with him. Was David actually going with the Philistines against Israel?
It says, now the
When
Philistines gathered together all their armies to Aphek, and the Israelites pitched the fountain which in and the Lord of the Philistines passed on by hundreds and thousands. Hold on a second. Hold on, caller. Hold on, caller. And the Lord of the Philistines passed out by hundreds and by thousands, but David and his men on the reward. Hey, you gotta mute your phone, man. I can hear dog and noise, man.
Oh, my bad.
Thank you. Then said the princes of the Philistines, what do these Hebrews here? And Achish said unto the prince of the Philistines, is not this David, the servant of Saul, the king of Israel, which have been with me these days or these years, and I have found no fault in him since he fell? He's not with the Philistines.
When I was reading it, said the Philistines was about to go up against the Israelites, and they noticed that David was following the Philistines, and the commander asked the priest, "Why is he with us?" to send him back because he didn't want him to. The commander was very angry with Achish and said to him, "Make this man return so that he may go back to his place where you have assigned him, and don't let him go down to battle with us."
What
So
is that
it was
about?
saying that. I'm reading 1 Samuel 29:4.
No, I'm asking you, what is that about?
That's what I'm trying to get clarity on.
This is when Saul is jealous of David. If I'm to read this right, you see how when you keep reading it in 29, when it talks about, is not this David of whom they sang one to another in dances, saying Saul slew his thousands and David his 10,000s?
Yeah.
And then it said, then Achish called David and said unto him, surely as the Lord liveth, thou hast been upright, and thy going out and thy coming in with me, and the host is good, and in my sight, for I have not found evil in thee in this day, coming to me this day. Nevertheless, Lord, wherefore now return and go into peace, if thou displease not the Lord of the Philistines? And David said unto him, but what have I done, and what have I found in thy servant? Yeah, I would probably have to read more on this just to confirm, but he wasn't with the Philistines. I just think they didn't want him to have the glory, but I would just have to read it just to confirm. I don't want to give you a wrong answer.
Yeah, because when I read it, it's making it seem like he's following the Philistines into battle against the Israelites. So I just wanted some clarity on that. And then one more question for you, then I'm going to let you go. David was given a wife, then it was taken from him and given to another man.
He never
then
slept.
Later on.
Yeah, when David went and got that wife back, she had never consummated with that man that she was given to.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't against the law for him
to get his wife back.
Okay.
Because remember,
Saul. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, Saul did that out of spite. But I will ask about the Samuel one, and then I'll get back.
Yeah, please do.
I just don't want to tell you the wrong thing. I don't want to tell you one thing, and then you come back
I
like,
respect that, Cap.
Cap, that
No,
wasn't
I
it.
respect. No, I respect that.
I appreciate
got
it.
you.
I appreciate it. All right.
Thanks a lot, man.
No sweat. All right. Next caller is Grant. It says Tiffany.
It's Thomas. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. What's going on, brother? You got a question or comment?
Yes. When it comes to salvation, when we breaking it down, why we don't tell the world that salvation is for Israelites, but the Gentiles, they're going to be there too. Not saying they're going to be saved. That's the confusion. That's the confusion that the world has, because we're not telling them that they're going to be there too. Why we leave that part out?
I don't leave that part
But they're
out.
not going to be.
No,
they're going to be saved for servitude.
Right. So, like, if you watch that battle that I had with Pastor Bennett, even before the battle, right? So I did a weigh-in with Sarnetta, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And the first thing I said was the other nations will be in the kingdom. That's the first thing I said. Mm-hmm. And Sarnetta was shocked. Oh, I'm surprised you said that. I said, I don't know why, because people don't understand our position. And I think the confusion and so here's why we attack the salvation part. Because the confusion is that even when Pastor Bennett tried to say he believes that Israel gets salvation, but the other nations too, you got to attack salvation, because they think being in the kingdom is salvation when it's not. Mm. Israel being in the kingdom is salvation. The other nations being in the kingdom is judgment. It's different. Right. So when I did
why you don't attack that? Why you?
That's what
I'm sorry, quick.
Brother, did you watch the debate I had with Pastor Bennett?
Yeah, I watched it.
So if you just go watch fast forward to the third round. Just fast forward to the third round. Listen to the third round, and you'll hear me say they're going to be in the kingdom, and I'm saying exactly what they're going to do. In the kingdom.
Okay, so if I could, please.
Hold on 1 second. Caller, hold on. What's my time frame? All right, this is going to be the last set of callers. Go ahead. You said you had one more thing?
Just real quick. And I ain't trying to tell you how to do your thing, but
man, tell me how to do my thing, man. You might have some brothers. Listen, I've had brothers call. I had a brother give me Isaiah 7:3, and I never looked at that Isaiah's wife had a son before the son that was prophesied came, man. So come with your idea. What you got, man? What you got?
Just
spit it out, man. Stop being scared, man. Spit it out.
I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. Hold on. Hey, just the world doesn't. The world just thinks, everybody's getting saved and shit like that. But they don't understand that Gentiles are not getting saved, and I think we should harp on okay, they're going to be there, but why? They're going to be there for servitude. I think we should harp on the servitude part.
You know what argument? I do. So, and I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. So there's a certain people that I've battled that will yield to that. But they think that's salvation because they're in the kingdom, which is crazy to me. Which is why sometimes you might hear me, and I might have said this in the battle with Pastor Bennett, that's a slave thought process. Only a slave believes that as long as you're alive to serve another man, that's salvation. But a master or a king is never going to believe that. So what you're asking, we always do. Sometimes we don't get to that portion before the person that we're usually battling might get out their feelings and stuff like that. But I usually bring that up. I remember when I was battling Vocab Malone the first time, the reason why he won't battle me again is because I told that devil, I said, you're going to be happy to make my coffee because you're going to want to live, as I'm reading Isaiah 14:1, when I said we're going to take them and bring them to their place. So we do that. We do it just now. Do we do it every time? No. And maybe that's what you're speaking to. But we do it. We just don't. It just don't always come up right away, so to speak. But that's not a bad idea. See that? And you thought I wasn't gonna listen to you, man. That's not a bad idea, bro.
Okay, that's all I got.
All right, no sweat. I appreciate it. Next caller.
All right, shalom. Man.
Shalom up. Next caller is 251-458.
Yeah, what's up, Captain?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah, I have a question. I wanted to know is Cinco de Mayo considered pagan?
I gotta get
unlawful?
this. Let me get this nigga off of my channel. Hold on. You said it's Cinco de Mayo. What is Cinco de Mayo about? It sound like pagan. Sound like pagan worship.
That's the day that Mexicans celebrate the defeat over the French.
They celebrate what?
And they celebrate them defeating the French.
Wait, let me get this sodomite out my chat real fast. Some man just told me I look handsome. Let me
Man.
Yeah, that's definitely no gorilla. Let me go ahead and remove him. That's definitely a no gorilla right there. Let me go ahead and remove him. Remove. All right. Yeah, that's paid. Well, so if Cinco, let me look it up. You said it's about them getting their independence?
Yeah, they defeated the French. They got their independence.
Okay, so Cinco de Mayo is Mexican victory over Satan. Okay, so I'll ask my generals to see if it's a sin or not, because I know Haiti celebrates theirs the first of the year, and Cinco de Mayo is that. So honoring or celebrating getting a victory in war, I don't know if that's a sin. I'll just confirm it. You know, I just want to make sure it's not to a god, because that sounds like how we keep Feast of Purim and we keep Feast of Dedication.
Right.
But I just want to make sure that that's not a sin. If only thing I'm gonna tell you, there's some idols up in there. Then that's what, because I see skeletons and shit. I guarantee you some type of pagan shit in there.
Yeah, big stuff in it.
Yeah, so I'll just have to see and make sure. I'll be leery about even like the Haitian one, because although I know it's about the Haitian Revolution, you just have to look and see who they're giving praise to for it. So like, if you take Feast of Dedication and Feast of Hanukkah, we give praise to the Most High for that victory. So I would have to see who the Mexicans are giving praise to for that victory, because the praise for that victory might go to some pagan god. The praise for the Haitian Revolution might go to some pagan god, and at that point, it's idol worship at that point.
Okay. And I guess the same thing would apply to like Juneteenth or something like that.
Juneteenth, no, because Juneteenth is just celebrating, something over slavery. That ain't to a god or anything like that. I don't know if I would.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Juneteenth in there. That's not no god worship or anything like that. And if it's a pagan cult, they be eating in pork. Yeah, we not rocking. Yeah, we ain't rocking with Cinco de Mayo or the Haitian ones. I forgot them Mexican. Boy, you think niggas love pork? Them motherfucking Mexicans.
The Mexicans they love pork.
Yeah, so we not celebrating that. I don't celebrate Juneteenth either. I just don't know if I don't know if Juneteenth is a sin. It's just a day that they honor. The Juneteenth was about hold up, let's just look it up. Juneteenth, the holiday well, the fact that it's a holiday is it's an X for me right there. It commemorates the emancipation of enslaved people in the U.S., and the holiday was celebrated in Texas in 1865. So it's about them getting their freedom. It's a thin line. Let me tell you, I'm always on the safe side, and I just say I don't celebrate nothing outside of that Bible, just to be safe, because I don't want to lightly offend the Most High. And then, like Tyree just said in the chat, it's not even real freedom; it's so-called freedom. Mother's Day, that's not a good holiday. That's idle. What somebody in my chat asked me. Mother's Day is a horrible. Half these bitches don't even deserve a holiday. But that's about bitches is horrible mothers, man.
Golly.
These bitches is horrible mothers, man. But that's a pagan
You lying,
holiday.
bro.
Yeah, Mother's Day is a pagan holiday too. It's of two gods, Rhea and Gaia, I believe is the other lady's name. The Roman and Greek god, which goes back before them to Babylon and Egypt. So if you want to be safe, if it ain't in the Bible, don't celebrate it. That's how I do. I don't celebrate nothing ain't in that
Okay.
Bible.
Okay. So
All right, no sweat, brother. I appreciate it.
all right. Shalom, bro.
Shalom, brother. All right, and last caller is 337-372.
Shalom, Cap. How you doing? This is Arthur from Louisiana.
Hey, what's going on, Arthur from Louisiana? I'm good to go. You got a question or comment?
I got a question about Galatians 6:2. I was reading it, and I know I know it's gonna sound kind of crazy, but the law of Christ. I know it's the law of the Most High, but like let's say hypothetically, if I always talk to people about the law still, whether they say the law of Christ is different from the law of the Most High with that verse.
Is the law of Moses different than the law of God?
No.
Is the book of Moses different than saying the book of God?
Nope.
Then that's the same thing. Fulfill the law of Christ. It's
That's
all
the
the
same
Most
thing.
High. Like,
All the Most High.
people look at Christ delivering and saying what he said is the first time, not understanding. You know how we talk about the 10 Commandments, right? When they got to
Yes,
the
sir.
10, in Exodus the 20th chapter, when they got to the 10 and the people saw that thundering and lightning and XYZ, they told Moses, you go talk to God, we'll listen to what you say. That's why we call it the law of Moses. So
Law of Moses.
Christ is just like that. Christ gets it directly from, or got it directly from the Father and then gave it to us. So it's all the same law. You want to go further? Hebrews 8, when it talks about the New Testament, it says, I will put
Yes, sir.
my law in their inward parts. So it's the same law. It's just the way it's delivered is different. And who delivered it to us that way? Christ delivered it that way.
Christ. Yeah. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I wanted, Cap.
Appreciate it, brother. Let me break
All
down
right,
the
so long. Have a
scripture.
great day, man.
Hey, you too. All right. Shout out to the brother that gave the super chat. It says, I'm a Sleaze 247. That's a crazy name to have on YouTube. I ain't seen a crazy name like this. I used to make fun of y'all with y'all YouTube names, because I think y'all got y'all YouTube names from like gamer tags and stuff like that. So I'm a Sleaze gave a super chat donation. He asked if he can get Ephesians 3, 6 through 9. Jesus, I should have known. That the Gentiles should be fellow heirs and of the same body and partakers of 6 through 9, right? Oh, 3 through 6, my apologies. Ephesians 3 through 6. It says, how that by revelation he made known unto me the mystery, as I wrote afore in few words, whereby when you read, you may understand my knowledge in the mystery of Christ, which in other ages was not made known unto the sons of men, as it is now revealed unto his holy apostles and the prophets by the Spirit. No, listening to rap music is not a sin. I'll finish answering that in the question. In a second. When it says the mystery which was not made in other ages, it's a mystery in the sense of when it was going to happen, not when it was said. All throughout the Old Testament, Deuteronomy the 30th chapter, Leviticus the 25th chapter, when the Lord said we was going to get scattered and then we was going to come back. The mystery was what age or time when we were going to come back. That's the mystery. That's the age. When Christ comes, now it's revealed this is the time to come back. So now when Paul goes to Rome, he reads to them Hosea, and it says, where it was said, ye are not the children of God, there ye shall be called. Now it's being revealed in this age. That's what that means. Now let me get to the question. Cap, is listening to rap music a sin? No, listening to rap music is not a sin. Just like, I always use the same example, just like watching Law and Order Special Victims Unit, watching Forensic Files, watching Family Guy, watching Martin, watching anything is not a sin. It's what you do that makes it a sin. So if you listen to rap music and they'll go sleep with whores because Chief Keef said sleep with whores, you shouldn't listen to rap music. I've been listening to rap music my whole life. It never influenced me to unalive. The only influence, I tell y'all, wait, let me say it before I tell y'all this is funny. The funniest influence I ever got off of rap music, I tell y'all, this is in the 90s. I had bought me a pair of Hush Puppies. And when Jay-Z had that video, Streets is Watching, and they laughed at Hush Puppies, I threw my shits away. That's the only influence I've ever had from hip-hop. The only influence. That's it. Kind of joke. So you can watch anything. It's not about, when it comes to sins, it's not what you watch, it's what you do. People that don't listen to rap, like people think that rap music is making these black people unalive each other, and it's not. When they walk out their door and they can't eat, that's what's making them think they have to sin. When they walking outside from abuse, that's what's making them think they have to sin. The song is not doing it. Now, can a song influence? I don't want to make it seem like a song cannot influence. It can. But listening to music is not a sin. Let me see. Somebody said if you can at the water. I didn't see what you said before that. I didn't see no other questions. I'll take this last call. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Timothy.
You gotta turn me down in the background.
Okay.
You gotta
I'm gonna turn you down. I'm gonna turn you down. I got you. Can you hear me?
Yes. What's your question?
Okay, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't necessarily have a question. However, I do have a comment. I watched your presentation, actually the debate the other day. I've been watching content for some time,
right.
And I like to say you've been fantastic, and I've learned a whole lot. And I watched it. However, like the presentations, like I do presentations for like Bible studies, and I would like to have you take a look at one of my presentations because I believe that I can help you. I believe that I can help the nation. As a matter of fact, I got a pretty unique way of delivering presentations in a way that's very, very effective.
Mm-hmm. How you plan on delivering that information?
Well, I would hope at some point, I know you're a very busy man, if I could just show you one of the presentations that I have, and then you can kind of make your decision from there.
Okay, so maybe the next time I'm doing like an in-house live, text me your name and your email, and the next time I'm doing like an in-house live, I'll invite you, and then you can show me what you're talking about.
Okay, fantastic.
All
and
right.
I gotta say that it's funny. Well, we'll talk about it more when we get into the live, but the Most High sent me. I promise you, brother. So I've been looking at a couple different. I've been looking at a couple different.
You scare me a little bit.
Oh well, I'm not. Don't take
you
it that
think
way.
You don't think you're Jesus or nothing
I
like
just
that,
been.
Right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a prophet. Okay. I'm not any of those things. I just been working on this, and I've been looking at the different houses, and I was always kind of skeptical on who I should go to first, right?
You was looking at what different houses? What are you talking about?
Like different the different camps.
Yeah, this brother gonna scare me.
I know. Don't say that. Don't say that because I promise you, brother, it's nothing scary about me. I'm very versed, and I've been doing presentations for major corporations for a long time, and I just took that skill set and I applied it to the Bible.
All right, well, we'll
for
see,
making
brother.
less.
Well, yeah, brother. I've just thought we're gonna put a pin in it right there, so I don't think you this crazy nigga on my
Okay.
line. But
No,
text me,
I am not.
just text me your name and email. And the next time
Sure.
I'm doing
Okay.
a in-house live, I'll put the link invite, and then you can show us all what you talk about. All right.
All right. Fantastic. We'll go from there.
All right. No sir.
Thanks
Brother.
so much
Take
for
it.
your
No
time.
problem. All right.
Bye for now.
All right. I don't know. He scared me a little bit. Maybe he's nervous, like Vanaya said he might be nervous. Maybe he's nervous. I don't know. I'm gonna tell y'all, when people say the Most High sent them, my antenna goes up. Jesus is them in a second, or the Holy Spirit, and I'm not knocking the brother. He could be telling the truth, but 99.9% of the men that have told me the Most High sent them, they've been a little crazy. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me today. As you can see, I'm not going to the gym. I was supposed to actually go somewhere, but it got pushed. So I am going to get to go to the gym, but I got to change my clothes. But I didn't want to miss my schedule. My gun said I sent it again. I don't see it, my gun. I'm not taking no more calls, man. Stop trying to seduce me, man. My gun, I didn't see it. Let me see. Is high priest Hilkiah, the father of Jeremiah, who found the laws in the temple under Josiah, the same as the high priest? Text me that. I would have to ask. McGunn, you got to give me the book, chapter, verse. Text me the book, chapter, verse so I could look it up. I did see a question, but I don't know just based off of what you're saying. I would need the scriptures of what you're talking about. All right? So now with that, I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. Until next time, Shalom, Israel.